listening to my opposing counsel, I couldn't help but think of that scene in Alice in Wonderland. After Alice falls down the rabbit hole, she's in a world where people stand on their heads, where gravity works in reverse. Her world is upside down. Today, it feels like we have fallen down that same rabbit hole. With all due respect, the prosecution's case is upside down. Good afternoon, my name is Alaina Phillips, and I, along with my co-counsel, represent the defendant, Skylar Storm. Now, as the defense, we bear no burden of proof in today's case. That rests solely with the prosecution. With the women at this table, they have to prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt all the elements of their charge. Now, they're charging 3 counts of murder. It's a very serious charge, and it is your job to test their evidence. They cannot ask you to guess. They have to prove it to you. Now, another thing I didn't hear my opposing counsel mention was the fact that this case was investigated in 2008, and the investigation was closed in 2008. The conclusion? The deaths were accidental. They were caused by a record-breaking storm. Not murder, not manslaughter, a tragic accident. Now, let's talk about July 4th, 2008. That evening, the Way family brought fireworks onto Captain Storm's ship, the Bounty, and they proceeded to light the fireworks. But the fireworks, they got out of hand. And one shot up and hit the mast of the ship, and it came crashing down on John Way. Another firework shot off, and another, and another, and another. Moments later, a terrible storm, the record-breaking storm, started. The wind was blowing and the water was rising, and this caused the second mast from crashing down on Nora Way. Their 2 children, Sophie, she was getting tossed around the deck and ended up hitting her head on the side of the boat. And Jessie, she ran below deck, absolutely terrified. Well, Skylar Storm, he tried to save the Ways. He tried to get them off the boat, and he tried to get them to safety. But he could not. And sadly, 3 of the Ways lost their lives that night due to the fire and storm on Lake Whitney. Along with Captain Storm, Jessie Way was the only one to survive. The Coast Guard investigated the deaths of the Way family and ruled them accidental. For 8 years, that was the official determination, accident. But in 2016, 2 things happened. First, Dr. Way's former business partner, Riley Vine, was caught drug dealing and was offered a plea bargain to point the finger at Skylar Storm. Second, after being encouraged to provide evidence against Skylar Storm at Côte d'Ivoire, Jessie Way went to a hypnotist. And after these sessions of hypnotherapy, Jessie decided that Skylar Storm was the one to blame. There's also a few things you should know about the prosecution's witnesses. First, listen to Jessie Way's story. You'll hear that for 8 years, Jessie Way did not remember a single event from the night of July 4th, 2008. She did not remember until after she went to a hypnotist. And later in the testimony of our expert, Dr. Quinn Lee, you'll hear that hypnosis is not a reliable method for recovering repressed memories. Second, consider Riley Vine. You should know that for telling you the story the prosecution wants you to hear, Riley Vine is avoiding all consequences of his criminal activity. And third, listen to Agent Beer. You'll hear that the Côte d'Ivoire closed the investigation in 2008 after ruling the deaths of the Way family accidental. The prosecution's story is upside down. At the end of today's case, my co-counsel Keenan Sims will come before you and ask you to turn it right side up. Find Skylar Storm not guilty. Thank you.